And I'm so excited to have him back. Please give it up for Steve Zimmer.
December 20th, 1984. My first year of grad school, and I'm making the long drive from Boston to the Midwest for the holidays. And I'm very uncomfortable because the car heater's blasting my face, and my feet are freezing. And also I have a headache because it's dark out and the overhead light is on, so that my selfish girlfriend Sarah can read her novel. Also contributing to my headache is the radio, which I'm playing loud to get back at Sarah. Sarah is beautiful and cold. Half the guys in the grad dorm pursued her aggressively, whereas I stuck to my standard courtship strategy. The slow method with no results. But this one time, there actually were. And now Sarah didn't adjust as well to grad school life as I did. So even though we were in different fields, I spent a lot of time helping her out. Chasing down research documents for her, giving her pep talks, proofreading her papers. And it pays off. By mid-semester, she's at the top of her program, and I'm flunking out. That doesn't bother Sarah, which bothers me, but it's okay because I love her. I remember the exact moment when I stopped loving her. It had been 5 weeks earlier. I was picking her up at the T stop, and I'd been waiting for her for an hour. And I realized she would not do that for me in a million years. She was a user, and I put up with it because of her beauty. So I was just a different kind of user, and in a way we deserved each other. At this point, Sarah finally shows up wearing a new coat, a bright blue camel hair with enormous shoulders. And just as I'm pondering which of us is the more awful person, she says, how do you like it? And I'm like, it's nice. And now 5 weeks later, we're driving to her parents' house in Columbus, Ohio. I wonder if she's told them what she's told me, that she thinks she's pregnant. Now, Sarah's pro-choice, except just not this time. I said that I get married if it came to that. And Sarah was like, thanks. So driving, upstate New York is just 6 hours of sleet. And I have to drive the whole way because Sarah's novel is surprisingly compelling. So at some point I just switch off the overhead light. Sarah waits 20 minutes, and then she turns on the light and turns off the radio. So I then wait 18 minutes before switching off the light and switching on the radio. Sarah then waits 15 minutes before reversing my actions. I then wait just 10 minutes before undoing her actions. And each step we give the other one a little less than they've just given us, until there's nothing left, and we're both just going. And Sarah finally sits back and says, listen, don't blame me for your failure in school. And so I was like, at least I have common sense. I'll bet if I dropped you off 5 miles from your house, you couldn't figure out how to get home. They would find you dead in the snow in that stupid coat. After that, the light stays on, and illuminating the interior of the car as we glide through the dark Pennsylvania hills, like a rolling diorama of my parents' marriage. We finally get to, we reach Columbus just before midnight. And Sarah's parents are nice, but they don't seem to know anything about me, or that we might be related. And so Sarah obviously didn't tell them about me, and she was clearly planning on dumping me. But I'm not mad. It's in fact just the opposite. I realize she feels as trapped as I do. And so we've got that going for us. So the parents let me sleep in this bedroom in this wing that they've been, this addition they've been putting on for the grandmother. But the project had lost momentum after she died. And so it was only partly heated, but they had a lot of blankets. And so, I go in my room, and before getting ready for bed, I just kind of, lie down on the, on top of the bed, just to rest my eyes. It's one of the 5 key habits of highly ineffective people. I wake up 4 hours later in a dead body. I wonder if I've had a stroke. I can barely move. I can't think straight. 53 degrees, doesn't sound cold, but if you lie motionless in street clothes for several hours at that temperature, you get hypothermia. So I managed to, I put on my coat, and I put on, over that I put on a robe I get from the closet, but my body's not radiating any heat for these clothes to catch. So I stagger over to the kitchen, and having like strong survival instincts, I decide I'm going to boil a pot of water to drink. I started boiling, and then I just put on all the burners, and I hold my robe over it like Batman, but I can't even feel the heat. And so I decided my only hope is to raise my body temperature through calisthenics. The next thing I know, it's light out, and a pink slippered foot is kicking me in the ribs. It's Sarah's mom, and she's looking down on me. I'm in her dead mother's robe, with my feet under the refrigerator because I'd been doing sit-ups. And I look in, through the tropical mist created by the boil of the water. Her father, I can see her father scraping the burnt calcium deposits over the pot that I'd used. But the goodness is that, unlike when I woke up at 4 a.m., this time I'm not just disoriented. I'm good to go, which is lucky because her parents are good for me to go. And so outside the door, Sarah, lets me know that turns out she's not pregnant. And we'll talk more at school. And I can see she's really happy. She's free. And more importantly, I'm free. So I get in the car and put all the settings just the way I like them. And by the time I reach the Indiana border, the bright sun has turned my Dodge hatchback into a toasty house. And the falling temperatures have turned yesterday's sleet into this this frosting on all the cornfields. So just outside it's beautiful and cold, but inside it feels pretty good.